From a health scare that sent him straight to the gym to his incredible post-retirement body transformation, Shaquille O'Neal has become seriously jacked. But just as he revealed his insane transformation, the NBA legend somehow landed himself in the hospital. Here's how. It all goes back to a wake-up call from his doctor. At 7'1", Shaq's pretty much a behemoth who towers over most of the general population. Plus, the fact that he once weighed 400 pounds pretty much makes him a man-mountain on his own. However, back in 2022, things got a little too out of control for the NBA legend, and he got told by his doctors to get his life back on track. Now you see, the thing is, even though Shaq's been out of the game since 2011, he's still a pro baller at heart. So he knows just how important it is to stay in shape all the time. But when you don't have a season to train for, I guess a double cheeseburger with a side of nuggets from Mickey D's is something you can indulge in, no?
Luxury plush hotels in Vegas, it's the same thing. I'm talking about the rooms, the decor, everything is amazing.
Because guess what? That's exactly what Shaq did. In fact, it's his favorite order. But because of his rather unhealthy eating habits, the 51-year-old sports analyst diagnosed himself recently with what he calls Charles Barkley over-the-belt syndrome. Plus, he hadn't been to a single doctor's appointment since his retirement. So in between his medical negligence, Shaq ended up consuming an insane amount of food. Although, when his doctor told him he had a sleep disorder called sleep apnea, things changed, and Shaq decided to turn his life around. Right after his doctors told him more about his diagnosis and how the athlete could end up with serious conditions like hypertension or even a life-threatening stroke, Shaq was told to discipline himself again. Not only that, but he was also advised to stop taking painkillers because they were now affecting his kidneys. In fact, things had gotten so bad that the athlete ended up saying, "When they hit you with that 3-letter word that starts with D and ends with E, it changes stuff up."
And to realize that, hey, you have to be happy within yourself. You don't really need anybody to make you happy. You have to be happy within yourself, and you can do your own thing.
That's a grim statement to make. Now, soon after his health scare, Shaq decided to go for a healthy diet, which mostly consisted of fruits, salad, chicken, fish, and a few egg whites. Now here's the thing, the man just loves fruit, and he includes them in every meal he eats. Not only that, but the key to his diet has been the most important food group for an athlete: protein. In fact, Shaq gives a lot of credit to low-carb, high-protein diets for his abs. Plus, he even tried going vegan in between by consuming and eventually investing in products like Beyond Meat. So it shows just how determined he was to get his life back. Although his diet wasn't the only thing he kept in check. Shaq went all out in the gym too.
Oh my God, I'm like, bro, we have a game. Relax, but he just kept, and then he got in my face, and then, my reflexes just...
In a video that went viral on Instagram, the NBA superstar was seen flexing his sculpted abs and insanely buff body. Shaq was seen sitting down on a pull-down machine, looking determined as ever to shed those extra pounds. He then moved an insane amount of weight effortlessly and completed a full set with so much ease that could easily fool anyone. While you can't really tell how many kilos he's shifting in the video, considering his frame and build, I'd say it's a lot. However, this was only a sneak peek into what life's like for him inside the gym. On a regular day, he does around 20 minutes of cardio, then some chest, followed by a little bicep and tricep action. He usually trains for about 30 to 45 minutes a day, including cardio, which totals gym time up to 1 hour a day. But because of his bad hips and rusty joints, his routine doesn't include jumping around and stuff.
I wish I had Jesse's girl. All that type of stuff. Red, you know the classics.
However, it's still pretty impressive to see how much he gets done regardless. Because you see, back when he was in the NBA, he weighed around 325 pounds. But during the pandemic, he sort of went off the rails and gained a couple extra pounds that sort of sent his health over the edge. However, because of his disciplined diet and focus, Shaq actually managed to lose 40 pounds over time. And because he's got this lifelong wish to get chiseled up and do an underwear ad with his sons, he kind of wants to lose 20 more to make it happen. Although his recent trip to the hospital is probably going to get in the way of that. While his recent gym videos have taken the world by storm, Shaquille's picture in a hospital bed on Twitter didn't go unnoticed either. Fans all over were concerned to see Shaq lying so defeated.
I started practicing it, I developed muscle memory. So, before you knew it, I was cooking, 10 to 15 dishes during the pandemic.
When he was just up and running a few days ago. True to his cheeky self, though, he tried to spin the situation with a bit of humor. Shaq started the post by thanking his fans for their concern, and then said he was just in the hospital to get some BBL work done. Well, technically, he got his hip replaced. But I guess for the sake of humor, let's go with BBL. Obviously, while fans did have some fun poking fun at the athlete, they were also worried about him. Because seeing his monstrous self surrounded by tubes and leads was the last thing that anybody wanted to see. But little did anyone know, he had to get hip replacement surgery done in any case. And it was all because of a nagging injury. Now, as you all know, Shaq's not exactly known for being a shredded player in the NBA. I mean, for many years, his weight has been more than just his muscle.
I understand. Oh, you don't think I understand your terms? I'll be back. University of Phoenix.
So to see him all shredded and ripped at the ripe age of 51 came as a shock to many fans. In fact, seeing his defined muscles, many people even assumed that maybe the four-time champion was perhaps being a little too hard on himself. After all, seeing how odd his quads looked in his workout videos, I think that was when most of the red flags regarding a potential injury were raised. But it appears Shaq's hip replacement wasn't a direct result of all these strenuous workouts. A bad hip and joint issues were just the tips of the iceberg for Shaquille over the years, so perhaps the extensive training did wear him out. And eventually, Shaq had to seek the medical attention that fans had already predicted he'd need. But of course, even surgery could not stop him from hitting the gym again. On his road to recovery, it seems like Shaq's still pretty high-spirited despite getting his hip replaced, because the superstar's already back on the grind.
5 off the wall. And Jerry West came in and he told me a story I didn't know. He said, son, calm down. I went to the finals 9 times.
In a recent video on Instagram, the former basketball star was seen walking, supporting his weight on a crutch through a weight room, and then eased onto a chest press machine to do some reps while wincing occasionally throughout the exercise. I guess no pain, no gain, right? Even though it's been barely a few days since the surgery, O'Neal determined to follow through with his fitness plans. He captioned the video by saying, "About to get my game back. All you old dudes that hoop, I'm coming for you all." And tagged a couple of fitness accounts on Instagram to let them know he's back. As of right now, there's no confirmation as to when he'll be resuming his role as a sports analyst for Turner Sports. Although from the looks of how soon he's returned to the gym, I'd say he's going to be back on our screens in no time. With that, that's all for Shaquille O'Neal's insane body transformation right before he ended up in the hospital.